Yes, I'm wearing a tie. I am absolutely wearing a tie. It's Friday afternoon and I'm wearing a tie. Hi there, my name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People to People in Australia and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And yes, I'm back in the office and I'm wearing a tie because I'm so excited that we're out of lockdown and lockdown is ending so soon around the country. So you can feel the recovery on its way. We're here live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube this afternoon with P2P Live, where we'll be talking about jobs and employment across Australia and New Zealand. We can see your comments. So if you're on any of the platforms and you've got a question about anything that we're talking about, then please pop them in the comments and we'll see if we can get to them straight away. Now, before we get into the agenda for today, because it's jam-packed, it's clearly Melbourne Cup next Tuesday in obviously in Melbourne, and the odds have come out, so I thought I'd share those with you. So do you want to pop those up with so Trusty Jacob from in the marketing team here at P2P, based in Auckland actually, has just done his job, and you can see here are the top 10. So incentivize $2.30 is looking pretty good, but then you quickly get down to $34. And we were chatting on Frogs on Friday, which is our sister company in New Zealand earlier, about Ocean's Billy, which is a horse from Rotorua. Don't get confused with Billy Ocean, which that song is probably now in your head, getting in and out of your car. But yes, they're the top odds. Now, look, my favorite though is this horse. Now, odds for this horse are about 100 to 1 at the moment. This is Master of Wine, and it's that's why I picked it, because it's Master of Wine. Why? Because my favorite Absolutely Fabulous episode is this one. Yeah, it could be me. If you haven't seen season 1, I think the episode is called France, and they get stuck in a chateau. Anyway, that's Master of Wine. If I like that, is clearly my horse in the Melbourne Cup. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're actually here to talk about jobs and employment. So what we'll do today is we'll go through our regular numbers section, and we're going to talk about the wage price inflation, because the inflation numbers came out recently, and what that means for wages. And how much you get to take home. Is there any correlation? Then we'll be crossing to Melbourne, and we'll be having a chat to Jess Hickey. She has an opportunity that she'd like to talk to us about. Hopefully some tips on the cup as well. Then we're back to Sydney, and we'll be chatting to Maddie from our Temp team with Temp of the Month for the month of October. So then finally, our Twitter poll results from last week, which is, why would you come back into the office physically? What is it that Australians really, what's going to drive them back into the office? So stay tuned for those particular results as well. So let's get into it. Let's get started then with our regular numbers section. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk through the latest inflation numbers, yeah? So this is, what you're seeing here is the CPI quarterly change. From 2012 through to now. The big dip is the COVID recession, the beginning of last year. But the noticeable change, so you've got the rise and the inflationary rise as we came out, as that quarter back was April, May, June of 2020, then the big increase, but consistently higher inflation for this last year, and it's starting to flow through. There's a whole bunch of reasons. I won't go through that now, but the question I really wanted to ask ourselves is, well, if this consistently higher inflation, I think the number is now 3%, so which is the highest that it's been annually. That is, so it's 3% now annually, the highest that it's been in, I think, in about since 2011, something along those lines. So is that going to transfer to greater price increases? Wage increases. So let's go to the next tab, or the next slide, I should say. I'm all over the place today. And the reason I wanted to show this one is because obviously there are ups and downs with inflation. And so you need to weight it. So there's a weighted median, and that's the orange line on this screen here. The CPI is the blue line. And this is from September 14. the reason I wanted to show you this, because there's a direct correlation between the weighted median of CPI and what you can expect as a pay rise. So if you go to the next slide, Jacob, and you'll be able to see this has been the wage price index since 98. And so this has been a hot topic in economic circles, because average wage rises have been declining for some time, and in recent times have been less than inflation. So you can see on average, I think we've been running at 2.1% increases in wages and salaries in recent times. So the last slide I'd like to show you then is, well, should we, with this big increase in inflation, should we see an increase in wages? So the wage price index is the purple, what would you say that? It's a little orange colored line. And then the CPI is the blue line. And you can see that there is a definite correlation between the two. So what am I trying to say? If you're an employer, you need to think about wage rises in the next 6 months. If you've got your cycle is at the end of the year, then you should take a look at that. If you're an employee and you're about to go through that, then you should be, and you might be thinking about, I mean, there's lots of talk about the Great Resignation and the like, which there's blogs and the like on the P2P website if you wanted to check that out. If you're thinking about a move, but it's all about money, now's the time to go to your employer and actually ask. Because and if you don't get it, then yeah, go out into the market. But now is the time to do that, because the expectation should be that your wages should increase more than they have been in recent years. Anyway, so very interesting, and something that you should be watching if you're an employer or active in the job market over the next little while. Okay, so that's it for the numbers section. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cross live to Melbourne, and we're going to have a chat to Jess Hickey. But to get us there, while we get that set up, here's a quick video.
Hi, it's Taylor from People2People Perth. We have an opportunity for someone with legal assistant experience to join a growing national law firm based in the Perth CBD. Your role as a legal assistant will be busy and varied, and will see you providing support across various areas within the firm, including corporate and litigation. Your responsibilities will include, but are not limited to, liaising with clients, drafting and amending documents, monitoring court hearings, and preparing court documents and briefs to counsel. This role is a fantastic opportunity to gain exposure to multiple practice areas and work within a growing national brand. For more information on this position, please click the appropriate links or contact me on 61606203.
G'day, Jess.
Hello, Mark. How are you? Happy Friday.
Yes, I'm very pleased it is Friday, and I'm pleased to be back wearing a suit and tie again, and back in the office, and all very excited. And because you guys as well, you reach your 80% lockdown tonight?
Yes. So 6 p.m. tonight. I think we're all hoping to hit the shops, Chadstone and the like. I think they're all gearing up for a very, very exciting night of trade. But yeah, personally, we're in a bit of a different kind of lockdown at the moment, in that there is literally almost a hurricane outside. So yeah, unfortunately, we'd love to all be out and about, and we've had a couple of nice days of good weather, but I think most of us will probably actually be staying in tonight if we had any.
Well, rumor has it that there's a lot. Rumor has it there's a lot of people actually heading out of Melbourne too, with the long weekend for Melbourne Cup, obviously on Tuesday. Now I know that you're into your horses. Do you have any tips for us for the Melbourne Cup? Do you have any favourites?
Probably my favourite's going to be Sir Lucan. So he is a horse out of Gay Waterhouse, who's obviously quite a successful horse trainer. She is pretty prolific in the industry. So him and her are probably my tip for the Melbourne Cup for sure.
I think Sir Lucan was in the top 10 there. Jacob, do you want to pop those up on the screen, and we'll just check Sir Lucan's odds? There we go. Yeah, yep. 17-1. That's not too bad. So and I mean, it's going to change obviously between now and then. So That's so considerably better than Master of Wine, which is my particular tip. But you've got a connection to a horse as well. Do you want to show us the picture, Jacob, of Jess? There's Jess. Yeah, tell us about it. Jess.
Unfortunately, I can't tip on my own horse. He was too slow to be in the Melbourne Cup, but there he is. That was when when I first got him, probably about almost 2 years ago now. He's considerably fatter than that now too. But yeah, he is a retired racehorse. Has raced a couple of times, but yeah, quite slow, which I'm not surprised about when riding him. Sometimes you got to give him a bit of a kick in the ribs, but he's a very good boy, and very lucky to have had such amazing support from the off the track community, who I guess put them through their retirement paces and allow them to become performance horses after their career racing. So it's a pretty cool initiative. So pretty proud to be a part of it for sure.
And he's got a fabulous name and the same name as his stable name, yeah? And that is...
yeah. So his name's Moo Moo. So most racehorses, Master of Wine, for example, he's a great example, may have a stable name. So it could be anything from like Barry to George to Alicia. It could be anything. But for some reason, his previous owners decided to keep his name. So quite often I'm standing in the paddock yelling moo, and every now and then I do get a cow respond, but we're getting there. He certainly knows his name, so there's absolutely no going back.
Now, we seem to be very distracted. We're actually not here to talk about horses in the Melbourne Cup. We're here to talk about a job that you've got. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So I'm actually recruiting 2 warehouse team leaders in Melbourne's West, so at a Truganina location for a national supermarket chain. So this particular organisation is certainly ramping up post-COVID, and we're really looking forward to kind of standout team leaders to assist in their distribution centre there. They are full-time permanent opportunities, ideally the afternoon shift, but there is a little bit of flexibility on that. Obviously, you'll be supervising a large team to meet some standard operating procedures and production targets. You're the key motivator. You're on the floor leading the team to achieve optimal outcomes. So we're really looking for someone who's had some experience in an FMCG environment or retail. So we need some fast-paced people who are, understand that things do need to move very, very quick. It's a really exciting opportunity to get on board with a national supermarket supplier. I guess in terms of benefits, all the luxuries of a big organisation, and certainly if you are located out in Melbourne's West, you will have the opportunity to work close to home with free parking on site. So do get in touch if you are a warehouse team leader or have worked for a while in the warehousing space and looking to take a step up. We're definitely open to people across all industries.
And what about the dollars? What about the dollars on that one?
Yeah, on this one, so we're paying up to $80,000 a year plus super plus the stipend. So a bit of money towards some learning and development for yourself. So that's exciting in that sense. And certainly the organisation are very big on investing and, allowing people to grow within the organisation. So that's definitely a added bonus.
Fantastic. All right. Well, there was just the one opportunity, wasn't it?
So there's actually 2 opportunities, but for that same role. So
right.
two opportunities available. So definitely get in touch. Better odds, as they would say, in securing something. So please get in touch if
that's a very cool segue. So there we go. So I can see that Jacob has popped your contact details up on the screen there. So if you do have any questions about these 2 opportunities in Melbourne's West, then get in touch. So thanks, Jess. Thanks for joining us again. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the freedom. Enjoy Melbourne Cup, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
We will, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jess. Rightio. So now let's go back north to Sydney, where we're going to have a chat to Maddie from our temporary team with Temp of the Month. G'day, Maddie.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
I'm very well. So you're back in the office there, downtown Sydney.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying it?
I'm loving being back into the office, to be honest. Definitely going to come in as much as I can. For me, working from home, it wasn't hard, but I like having the separate spaces and being able to go home and have home and not take work home with you. So, yeah, I'm loving being out.
100%. So what are the streets of Sydney like then for those that are watching around the country?
It's definitely getting busier. I think everyone came in today as well, being Friday, for some after work drinks and celebrations. But yeah, it's starting to pick up, and it's really good to see everyone kind of coming in, shops reopening and everything getting back to somewhat normality.
Great. All right. Now, I'm going to hand over to you to take us through this month's Temp of the Month across the country.
Awesome. So we've got a couple of nominations for Melbourne. So we've got Harjut. So her feedback was she's simply excellent and very proactive. The second nomination we've got is Geordie Vo. So her feedback was Geordie has shown great resilience and an attitude to help in as many parts of the business as possible. And our final nomination, who is also the winner, is Daniela. So her feedback was, since arriving, Daniela has displayed a friendly and professional disposition, which helps her fit into our team culture. Daniela has adopted well to our systems and is a great attribute to the team. So congratulations, Daniela, for our Melbourne winner. And
Well
then
done.
great job. And then so on to Sydney. The winner for Sydney is Jessica. So she had some great feedback. So our client where Jessica's working has said she's outstanding, fits in, and as if she has been here forever. Such a perfect member for our team and does a job perfect. She's returning to the UK, but if she wasn't, they would have retained her permanently, which is always great feedback to see. And then for New Zealand and Auckland, the winner over there is Morgan. So Morgan's feedback was that Morgan was smart, always punctual, fast worker, and fun and great asset to the team. So congratulations to Morgan and all of our winners for Temp of the Month.
Okay, yes. Now we've just had Ali on Facebook say to us congratulations to all the Temp winners, and I'll definitely back that up. I mean, we can't do our job without you guys. So congratulations and thank you for all of your hard work over the last month. Rightio. Well, thanks, Maddie. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Short notice. It's great to see you online and in the office, and enjoy a sherbet in Sydney tonight.
I will.
You probably don't even know what a sherbet is, do you? Because I'm just being like very old or whatever. That's like a beer. Like it's a beer.
Yeah, I do love a good beer, especially in this weather.
Yes, it's actually a hot one today. Excellent. Yeah. Rightio. Thanks, Maddie. Let's now move on to the final part of the broadcast, which is the Twitter poll results. So we've just been talking to Maddie about why she's back in the office, but what does the Twitterverse say about this question? What is most enticing to you when it comes to returning to a physical workplace? So here are the results. We did this. We had the results in New Zealand, almost identical in New Zealand to Australia, and we've had about 700 or so votes on this one. And the main reason, 40%, is it's so I can socialize with people in the office. I mean, we're all humans, and then if you add in-person collaboration, then you're nearly at 2/3 of people just want to socialize or collaborate with their colleagues in the office, which sort of makes sense. Very few people, 7.8%, was all about the perks. And this is the one that was, for me, important, was returning to the office, which was the routine that comes with that and how important routine is. And full 28.2% of those who responded to the survey thought that they wanted to return because it's a great routine. Rightio. What about this week? Let's have a look at this week's poll. This is a little bit controversial because of a recent announcement by a large American bank and paying people in Manhattan versus paying people in other states, places like Idaho, for example. Should there be a pay difference between remote in-office workers so if you can imagine, if you're in Manhattan versus you're in Idaho, should you be paid more because you're in Manhattan? It's a very complicated question. Let's see what Twitterverse says. Jump online at people2people at Twitter and vote. We'll be very keen to see what the results are next week, and tune in next week at 12:30 to see how everybody does vote. So, rightio, that's it for this week's broadcast. Congratulations, Melbourne, for finally getting out and free to leave Melbourne and enjoy the long weekend. I'm very keen to see Master of Wine get up in the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. For everybody else, we'll see you all again 12:30 next Friday for P2P Live. We'll see you then.